Last weekend, the elite of Manhattan gathered beneath crystal chandeliers and champagne towers at the Grand Meridian to honor a man they all revered, Edward Langston, a legend in finance, celebrating his retirement after 4 decades of power moves and backroom deals. I arrived wearing a vintage navy gown, one that once belonged to my late mother. I was his only child. I expected cold smiles, maybe polite small talk. But I didn't expect what came next. Edward tapped his glass, signaling silence. The orchestra quieted, and hundreds of eyes turned toward him. "Before we toast," he said, smiling like a shark, "let me clear the air. That woman there," he gestured toward me, "is no daughter of mine. She's a stain on my legacy. And she's no longer part of this family." The room fell into a vacuum of gasps and whispered shocks. My stepmother crossed her arms with smug satisfaction. My half-brother pulled out his phone, ready to film the carnage for his followers. I froze, fury and heartbreak boiling beneath my skin. But before I could respond, someone else did. My husband, Julian, stood slowly. Calm, collected, terrifyingly composed. He lifted a wine glass and said, "Since we're sharing truths tonight, I think it's time the room sees Edward for who he really is." He inserted a flash drive into the ballroom's media hub. The projector screen behind the stage lit up. What followed stunned the room into silence. Asterisk internal company emails. Asterisk hidden offshore accounts. Asterisk donations made to a fake children's shelter in Belize. Asterisk bank records, forged audits, bribes, even a full confession from a former partner. Julian hadn't just exposed my father. He detonated his legacy. Edward Langston, the man worshipped for decades, had been laundering millions under the guise of charity. And Julian? He wasn't just my husband, he was an undercover forensic financial analyst for a federal task force. And this night? He'd been planning it for months. Chaos broke loose. Guests grabbed their phones, the CFO collapsed, and PR execs scrambled for the exits. Edward stood motionless, pale, stunned. Julian leaned in, kissed my forehead, and whispered, "You don't mess with my wife." By the time NYPD arrived, tipped off in advance, Edward was already being restrained by hotel security. My stepmother disappeared into a corner. My brother's video never got posted. And me? I stood tall and walked out hand in hand with the man who reminded the world that betrayal has consequences. When a reporter caught up with me and asked, "How does it feel to lose your father like this?" I smiled. I didn't lose anything. I just took out the trash. And gained a partner who protects, not punishes. As for Edward Langston, he traded private jets for prison bars. Designer suits for prison blues. And the only thing he commands now is a bunk bed and a number. This isn't just revenge. It's justice. Served ice cold.